weekend. Welcome back to coverage of YCS Bochum 2015. It is the last round of Swiss. Round 11. After 8 rounds yesterday, 3 more rounds today, and we're going to cut down our initial 256 players that made it into day 2 to just 32
players.
Yes.
1,107 players, straight down to 32.
Yes. And leading the field currently is Joshua Schmidt, a former YCS winner, former World Championship competitor, followed by some other great names that we've heard plenty of times before at the past events, with Piranowski, for example. And we dropped a lot of names at the start of the first round today. These guys are still in competition. And we don't just have players that we've heard before, we also have a lot of decks we've heard before. In this case, for example, Shaddoll. So Marcel Brunner is bringing Shaddoll to the table for the 3rd time this weekend. We're going to have Shaddoll.
Yes, and we're seeing a Cerberus again.
Yes, interesting take card.
Yep.
And Shaddoll has always been very convincing on the feature match table, in my opinion.
Yes, well, it's won every single game we've had it up so far, has it not?
Yeah, I think so. But it never went up against this deck, because now he has to stand his ground against Lars Junginger and a Volcanic deck. Junginger is actually quite an accomplished player himself. He went to the top 4 of YCS Brighton.
Yes, you were saying that he was playing Plants and Crows?
Absolutely, yes. And in Brighton, in case you don't remember, it's been a while back, Dino Rabbit was the #1 deck.
Dino Rabbit was the #1 deck where Ping took the championship.
Yes, that one time when a UK player actually won an event. Okay, with that said, it's actually not just the Volcanic deck that we spoiled on the Twitch chat, it's also running heroes.
Yes, it's Volcanic Heroes, Hero Lives, Mass Change. It's also running Shadow Mist, so it is ready. It is completely ready to get its game on. If we have anything to take from the last round, if you get your game on, you win.
In case you missed the last round, just adding this real quick, you can re-watch all of the highlights from yesterday, from past events like YCS Prague or last year's events like London, Madrid, not Madrid, Milan as well. And so there's lots and lots to watch. But let's head over to the feature match table where these guys are ready to get their game on. And we're going to see if... What do you think? What's the favorite for this match? Is it going to be Shaddoll or is it going to be the Volcanics?
I really like Volcanics, but that's because Scattershot is such a good card since it became easier to get into the graveyard. Lots and lots of damage. And, well, destruction. And we see a Scepter. Scepter is fetching Sovereignty. And what we did mention, sorry, is that the Star Seraphs are in here as well.
Yes, this is also one of the stories of the weekend. Going into the tournament, we had quite a few pro players telling us that the Star Seraph cards are not that good because they lack consistency. You pointed out that once you resolve them, they're just so powerful, you should always play them.
It's huge. Okay, so Scepter has just happened, just got a Sovereignty. It's just set up for the other Scepter that's actually in hand. Now, Blaze Accelerator Reload has come out, a card that came out, I believe, in the new Challengers.
Yes, and a very, very important card.
Seekers of Eternity.
Secrets of... no, it's Seeker. Secrets of Eternity, yes.
Yes, Secrets of Eternity.
Yeah. And it basically replaced the former Blaze Accelerator completely in most deck lists.
Well, it is called Blaze Accelerator, and it can also, well, draw you cards.
Yeah, and that is the main reason.
Yeah.
Also because you can recycle those shells over and over again, deal damage when you're discarding them.
And then just hit a scatter shot.
Yeah, with the scatter shot, yeah.
Go boom.
You got a little bit of burn, you got a little bit of speed in your deck, gonna be faster than before, and lots of consistency with all those searches going on. All right, so this is it. Lars Junginger, his opening turn, I would say quite a great setup with Mind Crush. Mind Crush, very good card. Maybe not so much against Shaddolls, but actually if you're calling it correctly for Shaddoll Fusion, if you don't have an extra deck monster, it could be very, very good.
Okay, so all that has to happen now, because Sovereignty hasn't been special summoned yet, Mind Crush, Sovereignty.
There we have it. Mind Crush, such a good card, just as we pointed out a second ago.
Because you definitely don't want things to resolve, as it were.
Yep.
Yes, the second sovereignty will get its effect. But then he doesn't have 3 cards.
Yeah. So.
Oh, he had both the sovereignties in hand.
Oh, he did draw into another one.
Ouch. That is not going to make him happy. He's
Wow,
just dropped both of the sovereignties away. And now he's getting another one out. He can't even make anything with it.
Wow. So
Because sovereignty has to be used as an Xyz summon for 3 or more monsters. It requires 3 or more monsters. Shaddoll Fusion is out, although, which means that we can see a construct hitting the field. Construct or a Winder.
But we got to point out, Mind Crush, while it's mostly being played against Necros, putting in quite some work here for the Volcanic deck, and almost more devastating than it is usually against Necros, really.
Yeah. And looking at their second Blaze Accelerator reload is what is set there on Lars's field.
Very good news for Lars Junginger, who is currently actually on the 33rd place. So with a win, he locks himself into the top 32. His opponent is shortly behind him, 39, something like that. Yes, 36 in fact, but tied with Luca Cettoni from Italy, who also advanced to the top 32 a couple of times before. So lots of competition going on. And quite a few guys that we had on the stream yesterday are also remaining in competition, with Merlin Schumacher currently in 13th place, Brian Graving in 15th place, or Nino Zimmermann, who is playing Mecha Phantom Beast, in 17th place with a X1 record. All right, but back to this match. We got a Construct out, and Marcel Brunner is still holding on to a couple of cards in his hand.
Okay, Construct is getting rid of the Rocket. Now he has 2 Shadow Mist in hand and a Magic Planter, so he's going to get to draw some cards. Especially with already having a second reload down.
Right.
Yep, and there's the Magic Planter. Draw 2 cards.
Yeah, so another option to do something with those Blaze Accelerated reloads. He's still missing a shell to speed up his deck a little bit further.
Well, we need to see what he's drawing here.
Which is a
Phoenix Chain. And
a Mind Crush, another Mind Crush.
yeah, which is still incredibly powerful. And Shell is going to the graveyard. Oh, sorry, no, Scattershot is going to the graveyard due to Blaze Accelerator reload effect, where you can banish it to send 1 Volcanic card from your deck to the graveyard. Actually, sorry, is that a shell or is it?
It was a shell.
It's a shell.
Because he just used the effect, paid 500, and adds another Volcanic shell to his hand.
Yes.
Now he can activate the second Blaze Accelerator reload.
Discarding and drawing a card.
Yeah, and you can see how this deck is so consistent with all of these draws going on, and also the searching, thinning out your deck, and now he's gonna add the last Volcanic shell to his hand.
It also has its own mini Dagosto Emerald.
Yeah, with the Imperial Firestorm Guards.
Yes.
And of course he's also playing that. No surprise there. And he just went up from 3 or 4 cards in hand to 6 or 7.
Yeah, it's huge.
And he does that consistently.
He also has just got a Hero Lives, and he does play 3 Shadow Mists, which is what he's going to sort out now. And he's going to be able to bring out his Dark.
What do you think about the Hero Lives together with the shells? Is it too much of a cost?
It is pretty huge. But at the end of the day, if you're getting something out that's going to be big and a problem, as we've said before, life points are only a problem if you have 0.
All right, so Lars Junginger improving his position momentarily, and suddenly, is he ahead? I try to, sometimes I'm a little bit too simple when it comes to that question, but just for somebody who doesn't have the deep insights into what's going to happen next, what would you say? Who's currently the favorite in this match?
There's an ability just to immediately get out another construct if that construct dies. on Marcel's side.
So he's not running out of steam?
No, he's got 3 Falcos and a Sovereignty. And having 3 Falcos isn't what you really want, but it's there. But then there's a Fiendish Chain, a Mind Crush, Volcanic Shell. Lars has a good time at the moment, basically.
Right. So, speaking, I mean, he's got 1,000,000 cards in his hand. That is good news. What about his life points? How fast can a Shaddoll deck kill 3,000 life points?
Very.
In a blink?
In a blink.
All right.
And here's the Mass Change. Mass Change, you'll get out a Dark Law or an Anki.
And what is your prediction?
Dark Law.
Good
It's
prediction.
always Dark Law. It means that when he destroys the construct, he is not going to have to worry about it going to the graveyard and activating its effect.
All right. Some cards being set. And that concludes the turn for Lars Junginger.
And Mind Crush, and he's declaring
Falco. Ooh! Ouch! That second Mind Crush. So 2 Mind Crushes for 5 cards from your opponent's hand. I've never seen anything like this.
Wow.
Wow, Lars Junginger really making the most out of that card. Sometimes people are like, oh, it's only good against Necros. No, it is not. It deals a lot of cards.
He doesn't have anything he can do now. Sovereignty's not doing anything, and Mathematician isn't doing anything.
So Marcel Brunner, just from an okay position, went into a totally desperate
Terrible
position.
Yeah. And he didn't attack, which is a smart move. Unfortunately, Fiendish Chain.
Yeah, and also those Falcos are not being sent to the graveyard. They end up in the RFG zone, so to speak, the banished zone, and he's not going to make anything with those. And
now, he's just Fiendish Chained the construct there and used Blaze Accelerator Reload to discard a rocket to draw a card.
And, okay, what does Marcel Brunner need to come back in this match?
At the moment, he's not looking good.
So you're saying a Pot of Greed would be good, and then maybe a Graceful Charity, and then a Monster Reborn?
A Change of Heart would be fantastic right now.
All right, but okay. And speaking of cards that he's actually running in his deck, is there anything?
Let's see.
I mean, Raigeki is
Skill,
just
Raigeki,
buying him time, but
Book of Moon.
All right, so this is going extremely well for Lars Junginger, who does have a Magic Planter to draw even more cards. Summon a Monk to unleash some combos. I mean, he still has to wipe out 7,900 life points.
But it's doable.
The Scatter Shot, how much damage does it deal?
I
thought it was
1,500. It's 500 each.
Okay, so should Marcel Brunner be a little bit lower on life points?
Oh yeah, it's 500 you pay when you use it, but he only paid for 1.
Yeah,
I
that's a shell.
For shell, yeah.
Yeah.
The Scatter Shot hasn't gone to the graveyard yet.
Oh, okay.
There would definitely not be a construct there if Scatter Shot had gone to the graveyard.
Oh, good point. All right. So Ryan has just given up his job of entering cards into the app because there's nothing happening for Marcel Brunner, while Michael has a little bit more to do in this match on the left-hand side.
Now, he is running a 101. 101 would be fantastic in this situation, as would a Dark Xyz Rebellion Dragon, but it doesn't seem that anybody's running that, which is a shame.
So there is the Magic Planter getting rid of the Fiendish Chain, so we can predict that this construct is not going to hang around much longer.
Oh, there's the Raw Firestorm Guards, which is going to send leaves 4 Volcanic cards back to the deck and draw 1 card.
There's a rocket. There's, of course, the shell.
And the shell. Oh, he's taking 2 shells and a rocket back. Because now he can pay 500 life points to go and get more shells.
This deck is very interesting because you constantly pay life points, but still, you got enough life points to make it work and gain so much of an advantage.
Okay, so he's drawn his cards.
All right, and let's bring up the field for a second, just in case you're not familiar with all of those cards. The Dark Law, Firestorm Guards, and the set monsters, the Shadow Mist.
I believe he's just paid the 500 to go and get another shell.
All right, and this is the current hand of Lars Junginger.
And he's dropped it. He currently has all of the cards ever. This is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, he's setting up something here. With the Summoner Monk still in hand, he can go even nuttier than what this is already.
Yeah. He's just going to overlay.
And there's nothing that Marcel Brunner has that can stop this at the moment. The Mathematician and the Star Seraph Sovereignty. And there is
the 101.
The 101 that you predicted, yes. So Construct now working for Lars Junginger in a very awkward way as an equip, so to speak, for that Silent Honor arc. And Marcel Brunner dropping life points, bleeding and going down to 5,800.
It should be a lot less than that.
And with the second attack, 3,400.
That's 4,500 damage in that turn.
Yeah.
Now he has a Call of the Haunted and another Blaze Accelerator reload set down.
So Lars Junginger is not going to run out of steam anytime soon.
Marcel
Brunner draws and
can do
scoops.
nothing.
Yeah. Wow, what a first game. Those two Mind Crushes. That first Mind Crush was good. The second Mind Crush was amazing.
Yes, definitely.
And did he know that it was a Falco in hand?
I believe he did.
He
would have seen it from the last.
He saw one Falco, but he couldn't have predicted himself that he's going to
hit 3.
Hit 3, yeah. Wow. So
maybe he was thinking, I need to get rid of the Shaddoll card that's in his hand so that he doesn't then get a Shaddoll Fusion and then he can make another construct. Because he knew that there was another Sovereignty in hand because he got searched by the Scepter.
Right.
So he needed to make sure that he wasn't going to get another construct out and mess up with his day.
So much for that theory that Shaddoll are wreaking havoc on Volcanics. Not so much in this first game. And now it's up to the side decks to make a difference, with Marcel Brunner having the Denko Sekka, a card that we've talked a lot about this weekend.
Yep.
But I don't think it's that good against Volcanics, is it?
Well, yeah, it stops them using reload.
If it doesn't get flipped right away.
If it doesn't get flipped right away, which is huge.
But which is also not what's usually happening.
No.
You want to flip it right away.
Artifact Lancier doesn't really care about that. Denko Sekka, as we just said. Mystical Space Typhoon, that's probably definitely going in. Twister.
Yeah, that's a dead giveaway.
Twister, yep, that could go in for it. Book of Eclipse would be annoying and stop Dark Law from doing anything. Dark Hole, yep.
And a Defusion.
Defusion doesn't really... Well, Defusion does help in this situation. Or no, it definitely doesn't. Because
there's not much...
Oh, it does, because Defusion doesn't special summon. It just places them back on the field. So Shadow Mist wouldn't get any sort of special summon effects. So that's really quite good. Lars has got a Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, which is definitely going in. I believe that's a non-fusion area.
Yes, which is very interesting that somebody's running this. But it's amazing against Shaddoll, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you can see exactly why he's picked what he's put in there, and the fact that he can just take the hero engine out.
Yeah.
Because Volcanics don't need it to work. There's Mistake, Bottomless Trap Hole, Light Imprisoning Mirror would stop a Denko Sekka, but not much else. Fairy Wind deals damage.
Magic Cylinder. Denko Sekka's effect, does it not use... I think it didn't use the chain, doesn't use the chain.
Oh yeah, it's not an activated
so,
effect.
Light Imprisoning Mirror not doing anything.
Spell Canceller is annoying, but not the be-all and end-all in this particular matchup.
Yep, but very good against Necros.
Incredibly good against Necros.
And then we got Maxi and an Effect Vader.
Yeah.
So you're calling Shadow Imprisoning Mirror non-fusion area?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so 4 cards going in.
Possibly Magic Cylinder as well, because nobody expects a Magic Cylinder.
Yeah. All right, 4 cards going in, maybe 5 cards going in. What would you take out of the main deck?
I'd probably cut down to maybe two a hero lives.
I think I would not cut the Mind Crush.
No?
But that might just be me. And
no, definitely not.
Yeah. Finish Chain seemed to be okay.
Fiendish Chain is great because even if you're not using it for its intended purpose, you can Magic Planter it.
Yeah. So in this deck, serving double duty, you don't want to get rid of it just now. So I think the hardest part is taking anything out, really. I guess you can always take out a Pot of Duality.
And you can cut down to 2 a hero lives. 2 mass change because you're searching it all the time.
All right. Well, but it doesn't come as a surprise that Lars Junginger is sitting at this table, to be honest. That
Okay,
first...
so turn 1 has started. Call the Haunted. Blaze Accelerator reload. Blaze Accelerator reload immediately dropped. Magic Planter in hand. We're just waiting for the rest of the hand.
There's a scatter shot, so he's got something to discard.
Yeah, he's kind of ready with Scatter Shot to be able to win.
All right, and this is the hand for Marcel Brunner. He's got the Star Seraph again. Let's see if it's going to do a little bit more this time around.
It won't this time. He would only play it basically to get rid of a couple of things. Now, Falco's going, Squamartus going, and that would be a Winder that is about to hit play. Now, that is really quite good because Scatter Shot cannot destroy it.
I was about to ask, how much of a problem is the Winder for the Volcanic stack?
Very much so. Unless he draws into something that he can just use with that mass change, just to turn it into a Dark Claw and attack over it.
And there's no protection for Marcel Brunner. He's got Space Typhoons, which is good, but not amazing. And he set a Falco, or he's got a set Falco there, together with the Winder. And that is it on the field. Now he's going to add a Mystical Space Typhoon, I guess, before passing. No.
Okay, he's end phasing.
And it was a scatter shot.
So 2 scatter shots are going in there. 1,500 damage is happening, and their opponent's losing that face down Falco during the end phase. So it's not getting its effect again.
It's quite a strong combo, in my opinion.
It's incredibly good. And then you play Imperial Volcanic Guards.
Imperial Firestorm Guards.
That's the ones. Then you get to return all of them back to your deck.
Yeah. You guys know what card we were referring to anyway. Okay, so you're dealing damage and you're getting rid of a card. That's just 1-2 punch. That is very hard to defend. And now Lars Junginger needs to find something, but he's got the Magic Planter to solve that problem.
And he's got the Shadow Mist in hand as well.
Together with the Mask Change.
Yep. So he's in a very, very good position.
Right.
Not that he knows that because he doesn't know what his opponent has. But his opponent doesn't have many outs at all at the moment. So losing 2 cards, giving up the Shadow Mist together with the Mask Change, only to get out the Dark Law, but it's absolutely worth it. Definitely.
And now we're going to see an attack over Winder. Winder is a very strong card, but doesn't have that much attack, with just 2,200. And Lars seems to be thinking about what to bring out.
It's an Anki. Anki has 2/8.
So why does he not go for Dark Law here?
Good question. I would have actually gone for a Dark Law at that point.
Oh, well, it's, I guess, Anki's second effect that allows him...
Oh, and then he could get a form change and
Yeah.
just turn into something else anyway.
So...
Although, is he running form change? He is not. He would just be getting another mass change.
All right.
Which is fine, because I believe... I don't know if our app is updated, but oh, here we go. Yeah, and then he can just make another Dark Claw.
Okay. Well, I guess that's...
He knows what he's doing.
It's a little bit better than...
We'll leave it to him, because he's in round 11 of YCS.
It's slightly better than getting a Dark Law, getting an Anki, and then getting a Dark Law. And, well, he can still do that Call of the Haunted, of course, in the battle phase, which is once Winder left the field, of course. We don't want to forget about that card.
And he's poked for another 2/8.
All right, and Mass Change is a quick play spell.
He's just played Mass Change again.
And that
play
is
another one.
Well, that actually concludes the game. Yes,
Yep.
wow, what an explosive finish. I didn't even see that coming, to be honest. I totally forgot that Mask Change was a quick play spell card. Wow, Lars Junginger really showing us that Volcanics are more than able to... Well, it was the hero part, really.
The hero part did most of the work. The scatter shot we saw briefly, but it's more just a thing that he can do.
Yeah.
It feels like we're more seeing, rather than seeing Volcanics with a hero engine, we were seeing heroes with a Volcanics engine.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This is definitely what it felt like. And yes, and keep in mind, guys, that Mask Change is a quick play spell card.
Yes.
So in the battle phase, you're attacking with something. Makes Call of the Haunted so much better, in fact.
Yes, definitely.
Bringing back the hero Dark Mist and then getting something and then still in the battle phase attacking with that Dark Law.
And you can get all of the cards to make most of the elemental hero deck in the structure deck as well.
But I gotta ask...
So it makes it very accessible for a lot of people.
You know I love to play Devil's Advocate.
Mm-hmm.
When you have 2 MSTs in hand, don't you want to set one? Especially if you know that your opponent is playing 1 million ongoing trap cards?
Yes and no, because it depends. It was the thing we were talking about spell speeds. I
Yeah.
guess if you remember, we were having a conversation last night of whether you could just trigger the continuous trap effect anyway. If
Oh,
that
okay.
makes sense. So if you're getting off the reload, it doesn't matter. And if you send a reload to the graveyard, you can banish it to do
All
all
right.
sorts of crazy things anyway. So
So, but if you're guessing that your opponent might be holding on to a Call of the Haunted, you definitely want to set
Yeah.
a MST.
yeah,
And if you have two, I would have set one. Just because I didn't know better. I would have just set one and said, one in hand, one on the field, that's fine.
I probably would have just played one, just to get rid of the back row.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he plays it as a reload, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
So I think Marcel Brunner would have had an option to
Yeah.
survive a little bit longer. Although, wow, talk about some rough beats that first game with the two copies of Mind Crush.
Just emptying the hand.
Exactly. And then the second game over in a blink.
I kind of hope, because I once had a feature match a long time ago,
Yeah.
and I completely 2-0'd this guy.
Okay.
Completely. I believe it was against Daniel Jackson, who's still a player now as
Yeah,
well.
he is, yeah.
I was playing Gladiator Beasts.
All right.
Completely and totally.
How do Gladiator Beasts completely and totally 2-0? Because normally it takes forever for them to
No,
tag out.
it was ridiculous. I was getting it was getting Neospatian Grammall exactly when I needed it, hitting every single card that I needed to, Mind Crush, everything. And when I read that back, I go, that's a bit dirty. I don't feel good about that.
Yeah, Lars.
And I hope that Lars watches this and go,
Yeah.
I feel bad. Because he completely, totally wrecked Marcel in
I
those
gotta
games.
say, he should really feel bad, yeah, about that about that match. Wow. And so we know for 100% certain that Volcanic Heroes are going to be in the top 32 of YCS Bochum. Talk about a
Yes.
surprise.
Yes, it's going to be amazing. I don't know how the other Volcanic deck did, because we have two.
Yes,
currently.
that is true. And then also looking
The
at
other
the
one was
top decks at the moment, Emre Kitsilatis, who we had yesterday, who is playing Tellarknights, I think, with some interesting sideboard choices. He also runs, for example, he was actually running Mistake in Tellarknights
Yes.
together with a Spell Canceller. So something that you don't see every day. But he said it's serving him extremely well against Necros.
Yes.
And not surprising there. Then, of course, we got Nino Zimmermann with his Mecha Phantom Beasts going into the last round with 2 losses. So if he wins, he's going to advance to the top 32, of course. And also, speaking of Nino, I know for a fact that his deck will be featured in our written coverage.
Oh,
so
excellent.
whenever you get tired of hearing us, you can, of course, step to the written coverage where you can find all the deck features, all the breakdowns, country breakdown, deck breakdown, not just from day 1, but a little bit later today, also from day 2. And this is going to be very interesting to see what is going up in numbers, in relative numbers,
Yeah.
what is going down. What is your prediction? Is Necros going to
Necros
add
is
more?
still... there's this whole thing that you win by numbers with deck types, and Necros was huge at the start, so Necros is going to be huge when we go into the top 32.
They started with roughly 25, a little bit less than 25%, I think.
It was 160.
260.
Oh yes, it was
260 out of 900. You guys can do the math. That's a little bit more than 25%, of course, roughly 30%. And then in the second place, Shaddoll and Tellarknights with 150, 140. So those are the 3 decks, and we're going to mostly looking at those if they're going up or going down.
Yes, definitely. It's going to be interesting, but I do know that the Mecha Phantom Beast is probably currently in the top 32 as well.
Okay.
So we are going to see that again later.
Yeah, we definitely want to see that. And then we got a couple of players that we want to have our sport line on. For example, you like to see Jake Quincy.
Yes.
We can always wait until the tops because he's always reaching them, but then the question is he going to go all the way?
I would say that for far too long he's been denied, and he's making his move, so everybody should just step aside. No one can say that he's never tried.
It's not how it works.
To do everything to get back his pride.
Just because you made it to the tops a couple of times doesn't mean you're going to win one eventually.
No, he's going to. He's going to. He's going to bring it home.
All right.
He's going to bring it home for me, not for anybody else, just for me.
All right. So we're going to be right back with Lars Junginger and ask him about that Volcanic Heroes. So don't go anywhere and just give us 2 minutes to set this up.
It's time to